There is no denying that crypto doesn't look great, but Solana is suffering more than most. We're talking about the hot coin, the hot blockchain of the last year or two. So what exactly has changed? Today we're going to dive into the recent downfall of Solana and discuss if a comeback is possible. So sentiment around Solana right now is pretty terrible, and the chart doesn't look much better. We're going to have a look at the technicals and just discuss what's really going on. So you may look at this chart immediately and think, wow, this looks pretty good actually. Well, unfortunately, it is Solana, but inverted. And I do recommend doing this from time to time, flipping the chart upside down, because it does remove any bias that you may consciously or subconsciously have. So when the chart is flipped upside down on the 2-hour time frame, it really does look pretty good. And that is the worrying part about Solana right now. But we're not going to get too focused on the short term. This is more about the long term. Can Solana reinstate itself as a key blockchain player for years to come? So what we'll do is we will take a look at the weekly time frame, and we'll flip the chart the right way around as well. So this is the weekly right now, and I've marked out 2 key levels. So what we can see is, of course, recent blow off top, and a just complete nuke down from that point. We're seeing now, 6 red candles on the bounce, which isn't great considering this is supposed to be a bull market. So this first key level here on the higher time frames, we really wanted to see this hold. It was at around 170, 165. It had previously been used as support, a decent bounce to new highs from there, but this time it just couldn't hold. The market is way too bearish, and we have dropped down below. So we find ourselves in the middle of 2 levels at around, like we said, 170, 175, and around 115 to 125. So whilst we are in between these 2 levels, it's very similar to what we seen around the summer of last year, where price was just chopping in this range and was waiting for a breakout, which of course we did eventually get after the US elections. So I'm expecting price to come into this level here at around 125, 115, and this is the level we really want to see hold. And this is all about higher time frame market structure, because we do not want to see lower lows in a bull market. And this low here before this leg up, so we've got this as a low, we've got a high here, so it's high, low, new high, this kind of area. And then we really wanted a higher low, ideally here, but an equal low keeps structure intact. Of course, it's not great, but it keeps it intact. But the last thing we want to see is this level lost, retested as resistance, because at that point, things really don't look good. And we're probably looking at 100, maybe even $80, $75 at that point. And if people are asking the question, is the bull market still going on? Well, if Solana gets back to $80, I think the bull market was quite clearly over a while back. Now, we may not see a bear market go on for years and years like usual. This is a different cycle. I think that's very clear for everybody to see. But this is the level now we want to see hold. And if we just have a quick look on the daily time frame as well, I'll just clean this up a little bit. These levels still serve pretty well, to be completely honest, because we're just looking at a very similar range where price come into 125 as support and couldn't really break cleanly above 175. Did do that, retested as support here, and then of course more recently we have now lost that level. So I think it's very clear that these are the 2 key levels to be paying attention to on higher time frames for longer term investors. So yeah, there's no denying that the chart looks pretty terrible. But fundamentally, what has caused this? What has changed for Solana? I believe ultimately Solana is now suffering from the reputation that it has of being the layer 1 or blockchain for meme coins. I think whilst meme coins are so dominant on the chain, it's very difficult for Solana to be taken seriously. I mean, if we look at price here, we can see that, yeah, everything is having a pretty terrible time right now, but Solana is that little bit worse. We can see over 7 days, Bitcoin down 7.5%, Ethereum just over 10%, but Solana at 18%. And even over the last 24 hours, We've got 6.9%, 9.8%, but 12.3% for Solana. So it's definitely taking more of a beating than all of the other majors in the cryptocurrency space right now. But again, if we look at this headline, when it comes to meme coins specifically, Solana hits 275 lifetime peak as official Trump meme coin surges to 8 billion. And this is just over 1 month ago now. And of course, in hindsight, it is very obvious that this was a top signal whilst the largest ever meme coin was launched kind of out of nowhere. So Solana definitely seeing good upside when meme coins succeeded, regardless of how long they succeeded for. But ultimately, because it has this attachment now, when these meme coins drop very aggressively, it looks like Solana is following suit. It's very obvious that we are seeing a lot of scams on Solana right now. And this goes all the way up to celebrities and key political figures around the world. And this is really what is ultimately damaging Solana's reputation worldwide for everybody to see. Because the bigger the headline, the more people see it, and the more Solana gets tarnished. And we're just going to have a look at this tweet that I shared around 1 week ago, where I basically say that we cannot blame the Solana team specifically for this mess. I kind of feel sorry for them. And I'll explain exactly why here. So, as I say, there is no way that you can specifically blame Solana for what is happening. In 2021, we was crying out for an L1 that didn't charge us 50 to 250 in gas fees per transaction during peak times. And that is basically what we did with Ethereum and Uniswap all of them years ago. They gave us what we asked for, which was a better L1, but unfortunately bad actors took advantage of this. Fast, cheap transactions with a simple user experience. That is what Solana brought to the table. Sure, these third parties, such as Phantom, MoonPay, PumpFun even, they create features that fit user needs, but we, the consumers, are the ones literally feeding the bad actors. Basically what I mean is if we stop buying into these scams, hoping to dump our bags on the next person, then there won't be any money to be made for the scammers, right? So, the tools are there, it's very accessible, very easy, but at the end of the day, we are the ones who are fueling this. Kobe mentioned in a tweet that people buy scams knowing they are scams, hoping to make their money before the music stops in the hope of getting rich quick, which is kind of the sad reality of crypto right now. You really can't blame people for not taking this industry seriously when we're seeing stuff like this going on. The average investor's mindset is to make money in 2 days rather than our old school mindset of 2 years. And even 2 years in the grand scheme of things compared to other industries is very short. So 2 days is just laughable. This for me is a big part of the problem, which will only stop when enough people get terribly wrecked, because ultimately people are not going to stop buying meme coins until they lose all of their money and they realize that it is very degenerate and one big gamble. So if this bull market is to continue later this year, can we expect Solana to make a comeback? I do believe that naturally meme coins will fizzle out. Sure, the big ones, Doge, Pepe and so on, will stick around for the long term, but the majority of them are going to slowly trend, if not rug pull, to zero, which will help Solana move away from this reputation. But the big but is that Solana moving away from this meme coin reputation isn't all great, because that is where the majority of Solana's volume comes from. That is why it is so relevant right now, because of meme coins. So getting away from this reputation isn't solely enough. We also need to see utility coins, genuine projects and products launching on the Solana blockchain. Now, I'm not saying that Solana doesn't have any utility coins on the blockchain. I'm pretty sure it does. In fact, I've actually invested into a couple of them in the past. But unfortunately, whilst meme coins are in the headlines and are leading the way right now, it makes it very difficult for these genuine utility plays to get the recognition that they deserve. My hope right now is that towards the end of the year, at some point, we see a true alt season, but more specifically, a utility season where genuine products, again, get the recognition that they deserve. And more so, I just hope that Solana is a part of this and they do not fade into irrelevancy just because meme coins are not center of attention. So that pretty much sums up my thoughts right now on Solana as a blockchain, as an ecosystem, and the current situation with meme coins. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Content will continue regardless of market conditions. Do also comment and let me know how you think Solana will hold up in the future. Please trade safe, invest safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.